property. And yeah, I mean, so let's
Let's
script
get it.
practice and get the work done.
Isn't it amazing though, David? Like when you hear something over again in push or in role play, and then you're in front of a seller, and it just comes out of your mouth. You're like, where did that even come from? But it's because you practice so hard, and you're in that room and participating. When you're actually in front of the seller, it just comes out and it's easy.
Another one you use that I use is I'd rather turn you down and let you down. Oh, that felt great saying that.
Well, it's a great feeling because when they see that you're willing to walk away, it changes because you don't have commission breath, and they see that you're a serious professional and you don't want to waste your time. So, yeah, I think it's a great script. Thank you for sharing. I'm gonna go to Jerome. However, before I go to Jerome, I want to say this: Mark, Roberto, Hugo, Sean, I need cameras on, or my girl Kimberly, I call her the Sandman. She's gonna take you guys off the call and put you into Instagram. Jerome, what's up, sir?
So I'm giving feedback on how this call, the consistency of the role play is I appreciate. You're here every Friday. You got other calls, but I like to come in here for the role play. I like to get in the game, as I commented a little bit yesterday on the Instagram post. I really appreciate the consistency. I really appreciate the leadership and the variety that this call brings up to other role play and script practice groups. And coming in to get some variety, some difference from the other role play stuff I do really makes a difference. And I just have to say again, the consistency, that's like a large part of success, right? Don't matter your skills if you're not consistent and you're consistently here with this call as other calls. So I appreciate you, David.
Thank you. And I appreciate what you said about consistency because I believe it the most. The reason why I was able to improve in sales, the reason why I was able to build my listing inventory up and have success is because I showed up every single day, no matter what, no matter how I felt. I showed up and I put in the work. And I wasn't great in the beginning. I mean, you guys see me now and I'm scripting. You're like, oh, that sounded phenomenal. I'll never be like you. Yes, you will, because I was not like me when I started. What I was consistently Jerome said, and I showed up every day and I made the calls and I learned how to overcome the objections. And I got in rooms like this and I script practice until I couldn't get it wrong. And so if you guys are willing to put in the work, you can have that same success. So y'all ready to get into it? Yeah. So what we're focusing on today is what? What should we be focusing on today on this call for script practice? I want to just somebody yell it out. What should we be focusing on?
Listings.
Listings, but what type of listings, especially right now in this market right now?
Expired.
Expireds, exactly. And so who's been calling expireds right now? Just raise your hand. I want to see. So I got Barclay, I got Jerome, I got Michelle on there. Not as many people as I thought. Denise is on there calling expires. I love it. I love it. So what we want to do, I want to hear, I have a list of objections that we can go over, right? But the ones that are really going to bring you the most contribution is the ones that you're getting on the phone. So the whole point of this call is for you to take what you're getting on the phone, bring here and say, David, I got this objection. I got this tough question from an expired. I didn't know how to handle it. What should I have said? Can you help me reframe it? That's the whole point of us being here together. So I'm going to call on a few of you folks that I know are actually making the calls. Denise, I'm going to start with you. Tell me, like, when you are calling expireds, what's the objection or tough question you're getting, or maybe what's the one that you believe you may get that's keeping you from making the calls?
Okay. So far, I've had some listing appointments. I made some listing appointments. One of them that got me was she said my broker's the boyfriend. That was one of them that came out the blue.
Wow, her broker is her boyfriend.
Yes.
Whoo, that's a tough one. How did you handle that? Because it's tough. We're going to get that, like, hey, my mother-in-law was the agent. I have to relist with my mother-in-law or my best friend. We get that all the time. So tell me, how do we overcome that? What did you say when that came up?
I'm not gonna lie. I just said okay. I just went to the next call because I had 500 calls to do. And then she was quickly to get off the phone. So because I wasn't. I just said okay, and I just said, how would you feel if you had a downside? She said click. So they're not gonna. It didn't continue. The call didn't continue. So I went to the next call.
Man,
that one I'm not gonna lie. It got me. I never had that one.
I'm gonna share something with you, and I know this is not a script practicing, but I feel like I need to tell you real life example that will keep you from hanging up next time. So I called an expired. I was in Bergen County in Wyckoff in New Jersey, and the expired were the parents of an agent in my office, and the property expired. right? So as a professional courtesy, I'm going to call the agent first before I call the expired, because that's how I would want someone to handle me. So I called the agent. I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, I saw the house expired, and she told me, hey, that's my parents' house. And so initially, I kind of had that same feeling, like, oh, it's her parents. Like they're not going to list with me. They're always going to list with their daughter. However, instead of just hanging up, I asked some more questions, and that's our job. We have to be in question mode. And I said, well, are your parents going to relist with you? And she was like, I don't think they will. They don't want to listen to me. And I really don't want to work with them because I told them what they needed to do and they don't listen. And so I went on and I said, Sarah, listen, you know, this is what I do. I specialize in helping expireds. If I could help your parents get their property sold, and at the same time, I paid you a referral fee, so you made something, do you think we could work together? I'd love to partner up with you. I'm just going to make this really short. I'll give you the longer version later on. I went to the house at night with her and met with her parents. I got the listing. They priced it where I told them to price it. She was charging 5%. I got 6%. We sold the house in less than a week. When it was time for the parents to find the new house they wanted to move to, she called me and said, my parents love working with you. Can you help them find the property and just pay me a commission? So I found them a property, paid her the commission. And then about a year later, because she was a part-time agent, she was looking to buy a house. She called me to help buy her house. So I got paid 3 times on an expired that I think most people would have just hung up on, because I was willing to ask some more questions and dig in a little bit and show some value. So in the future, maybe nothing will come from it. However, you have nothing to lose by pushing, and I want you to push a little bit more. Does that make sense? All right, cool. All right. So let's get into that objection. Let's throw it out here. I'm gonna throw it out to, hey, what's up, Tanae? What's going on, Mark? What's going on, everybody? Happy to see you guys here. I'm throwing this out to my guy from Miami, because I know this guy is on it, making his calls. Barclay, unmute. And I'm just gonna say to you, hey, listen, Barclay, I don't want to say my boyfriend. Let me just rephrase that. My girlfriend is the age. I'm messing myself up here. Sorry. Listen. I appreciate you calling, but my girlfriend's actually the agent. So you know, if I relisted the property, I'm gonna have to go with her. I hope you understand that.
I definitely do, and thank you for your loyalty. But question, how has it been so far?
Well, I mean, as you can see, the home didn't sell. She wants to actually just remarket the property and come in and do some things on social media. She feels like she can get it sold this next time around. So we'll see. We'll see.
Exactly. I definitely understand that. And how long is she a full-time agent or like a part-time agent?
She's full-time, but she just started in real estate about 4 months ago.
Okay, definitely understand that. And out of curiosity, I know this is your biggest asset. Would you be open to a second opinion?
I mean, I don't know how that's going to go with her. I mean, if you have a buyer, I'd be willing to work with you. And, you know, if we don't have to put the house back on the market, I just feel like if I'm going to relist, I mean, hands are pretty much tied.
I definitely understand that. And that's why I'd love to meet with you for 20 minutes. I could explore with you. I could explore with you all the options that are available, even with helping her, you know, get her feet wet and getting this property sold. So look, I have today at 3 or 5 o'clock available. We could all sit down, me, you, and her, and we could talk about like the best game plan going forward.
Well, what do you mean by that? You know, getting her feet wet. What does that mean?
I mean, you know, she's been an agent for 4 months, and you know, she wants to have the help and the expertise to make sure she's getting everything she needs to get the home sold. So she had like somebody she could either shadow or however it is, where that way you get a house sold, she still get the mentorship, everybody wins.
Let me talk to her about that and see if that's something she'd be open to. Again, I don't want to step on her toes, and you know, I can get back with you if she's open to having that conversation.
I definitely appreciate that. How about we do this? How about we schedule it for 5 p.m. today? Me, you, and her can sit down, and I'll give you a call around 3 to confirm that we all can meet.
All right, we can go ahead and do that.
All right, perfect. And what's the best email for you?
Blah, blah, blah. All right, so I want to stop you real quick because good job there. Let me ask you this. How do you feel about what you said?
Oh, freestyle. I don't even know what
I mean, but the freestyle was good. I just wondered if you had said something like, hey, David, during the time your house was on the market, I just closed 3 properties in December. And so, you know, I understand that your girlfriend is new to the business, and sometimes people just don't know what they don't know. And I would love an opportunity to help you get this property sold, and at the same time, help her and show her what I did to get my listing sold. I mean, if we could all work together and make it a win-win, would you be open to it?
They could always go on, but yeah, be more direct.
Yeah, I would be a little bit more direct with it, but I like where you went, and I love that you said second opinion. It costs nothing to get a second opinion. So throwing that out there as an option, I think is a great way to go. All right, cool. All right, Barclay, I'm going to pass on you. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Ashley Davis. No. Ashley always talks. I'm going to get some people on here that don't talk. All right, here we go. Mr. Mark Mullings, what's going on? Listen, we're considering selling the house on our own. What's going on? And listen, let me just start off by saying this. If you don't know how to handle the objection that I give you, attempt to handle it. Do the best that you can do, and then we'll help you out and figure out what you should say. So,
All right, cool.
yeah, we're considering just selling the house ourselves. Our agent wasn't great, and we could do what they did. So I appreciate the call, but we'll probably have it on the market as a for sale by owner in a week. And if you have a buyer, feel free to bring them by. We're okay with that.
Okay, David, but what were some of the challenges that you had when you were trying to put it on the market before?
I mean, I thought the agent did a great job. They talked a good game, had professional photos taken, had open houses done every weekend. And yet 6 months later, our home didn't sell. So, for us, we can do those things. We already have the photos. We can do an open house every weekend. If that's what agents do, I don't see the need to pay a commission. We can do that ourselves.
No, I understand, but you guys don't have the necessary experience and connections with other agents and other investors that could potentially get the deal closed.
Okay. So I'm gonna pause you right there because I want to give some
Okay.
value to you and other people.
Yeah.
So essentially what I just told you, Mark, right, is that I'm going to do the same thing my agent was doing,
Okay.
right? And what does
Yeah.
Einstein say the definition of insanity is?
Doing the same thing over and over, getting the same result.
Yeah. So how could you say that to me in a nice way? And what I want you to do is,
Mm,
I don't know if you're sitting down or standing up. I need your energy to be a little bit more. So if you're sitting down, maybe attempt to stand up, get that energy going, because it comes across on the phone like you wouldn't believe it, but the difference is standing up.
Mhm.
You're pretty tall, look like you almost hit the ceiling fan, but
Oh,
you
no,
know.
no. No,
All
I'm
right.
like 5'8", dude.
All right, gotcha. Let's start over again, and I want you to say what I just said to you, right? I want you to use that in the script when I say I'm gonna, do it on my own. I want you to have that conversation I just had with you about the definition of insanity, but make it your own.
Okay.
So Mark, listen, here I got to tell you, man, we're just going to sell it on our own. Our agent had great photos, and they did open houses every weekend. I mean, we can do that. So we're just going to put it on the market as a for sale by owner. If you happen to have a buyer, feel free to bring them by, and I'd be happy to pay you a 2.5% commission.
Yeah, I understand, but I don't think that'd be the best option since, we did that before. I'm not too sure if that would work, doing that the same thing over again. So maybe, working with another agent would be the best, opportunity for you guys.
So I'm gonna pause you again.
Yeah.
I want you to sound confident when you deliver that, and let me know that's not a great option. Don't say I don't think, I'm not
Okay.
sure. Be confident. Like, listen, I hear you on that. You're doing the same thing your agent did. Do you want to get the same results they got, or do you want to get some different results?
Right.
I want you to be a little bit. Don't be more sure of yourself when you say it.
Okay.
All right, one more time.
Okay.
One more time. So we're going to do the same thing. Photos, open houses every weekend. We're not going to relist the property. If you have a buyer, bring them by. We'll pay you 2.5%.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good, but I feel like that I messed up again, dude.
No, just keep going.
Yeah, it wouldn't be in your best interest to, keep doing the same thing over and over with you putting the house on the market. So getting an experienced agent and someone who actually knows the market and the neighborhood would be in your best interest.
Okay. Keep going.
Um,
What else would you say to me? What else do you want to know about me?
hmm. Do you have any other experience with, putting a house on the market on your own?
What if you went to my motivation now and you said, hey, if a home had sold when it was on the market, where were you moving to?
Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah, what's your motivation in selling?
I got a job that I'm starting in North Carolina, in Greensboro, and I have to be there no later than March 1st. So
Okay.
definitely got to be out there.
Okay, yeah. So we'd be able to get the house, ready on the market, and then you can get to your new location of where you want to live.
All right, so let me ask you a quick question. And I know I'm going hard on you, but I know what I'm
That's
saying
all
is going to
good.
help other people. Hey, so I just shared with Mark something, right? I just told Mark I just got a new job, right? If you met a stranger and they said, "Hey, I just got this new promotion," what would we all say?
Congratulations.
Congratulations. So the balance here is, yes, you're wanting the appointment. Also be human too, man. Just hear what I'm saying and acknowledge it. Like, hey, congratulations on that promotion. So that's exciting. So you got to be there by March 1st.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's important about this? Like dig into the motivation a little bit more.
Right.
And just, hey, my kid just went to college. Congratulations. Like every time we talk to someone, make that conversation where they want to continue. And if
Okay,
people
like
feel like
make
they're
that.
being heard, they'll keep
Mhm.
talking. If they feel like all
Okay.
you're trying to do is make your point and get to the appointment, sometimes it can work, but a lot of times it'll backfire on you because you're not in rapport with them because you're not acknowledging what they say. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a break. Good
All right, I
job though.
appreciate it, man.
Listen,
Thanks for the
you
help.
listen, you pushing through. It's all about like putting yourself out there, figuring
Yeah.
it out, figuring out what you can say better the next time. So you're good to go with that.
All right, cool. Yeah, it's like my second week, like cold calling, so I'm just starting out.
Well, listen, at least you started. Keep it going.
Yeah, man, appreciate you.
Hey, Amina, what's going on, Amina? How you doing today? Can you unmute for me?
Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Listen, I will tell you that we are interested in potentially working with you. Our house was on the market last time at 4%, and your commission is so high. We just can't do it. If you're willing to match the commission we had before, I'd be willing to work with you. But we can't pay what you're charging.
Well, I appreciate that, but commission is negotiable. Why don't we sit down and I will show you exactly what I do different, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I don't want to waste my time. If you're not willing to match what my other agent was paying, then I don't really see there being a point to us talking. Are you willing to do that or not? I mean, if you do that, I'd be willing to work with you.
I appreciate your concern. Again, I would love to meet with you just for 15 minutes. We'll talk about the process and what I do differently than other agents, and then and then we can talk about commission.
All right, so I'm gonna pause you really quickly because somebody's throwing something in the comments that I think could
I
help you. Harvey
That's my
said,
first time.
"No, you're good. You're good." Harvey said, "Isolate." Do you know what he means by isolate? So essentially, it's this, and we should always be isolating an objection.
Mhm.
Other than my commission, is there any other reason you wouldn't work with me?
Oh, okay.
So what that's doing, guys, so you know, is it's letting the agent know, nope, commission's the only issue that the seller is dealing with. Or if there are other concerns, it might be, well, it's your commission and I'm interviewing somebody else tomorrow, so I want to hear what they're saying too. At least you know what you're up against and what you're dealing with. So Amina, here's what I want to say to you about this commission piece, and I'm asking you to lower the commission. What's a great question that you could ask me when I tell you I want you to lower your commission? Can you think of what you might say to me, a question you can ask me around commission? And
Is I can say, is netting the most amount of money is why do you want to lower the commission?
so I like that. So is it the commission or is it what you net when you sell this property?
Okay.
Because most sellers I talk to, what's important to them is what they put in their pocket at closing. Is that the case with you?
Okay.
And if I say yes, and I'm going to say yes, yeah, it's what I net. That's what's important to me. Then what would you say?
I would say, why don't we sit together for 15 minutes and I can show you how you can net the most amount of money, including the commission. Let's just sit for 15 minutes.
Love that.
I mean, maybe I should say it differently. I don't have a script. That's just on top of my head. So,
And again, look at what you're doing just coming from the top of your head. So when you get the scripts down and you're able to say, well, then if it's what you net, then we need to sit down and I'm going to show you how working with me, even after paying my commission, you're going to walk away with more money in your pocket. And that's what's important to you, right?
Yes.
So I have
Just
tonight
the
at 6 or
way
tomorrow
how
at
you
4.
say it.
Just
Yes.
how you word it.
Yes.
However, you got to give yourself kudos. Number one, you did it in the group in front of all these people,
I
and
that's
you
my
said the right
first time.
thing.
David, I went to 2 listing appointments last week, and I didn't get them, so I had to do something. I had to,
Yeah.
change a lot of things.
And listen, what I will say to you, and we'll get back into role play in a second, I've been there as well. And I found that I was running to these listing appointments and walking away with no paperwork signed. Part of that was I wasn't pre-qualifying. So some of those people weren't motivated. I shouldn't have been at their house anyhow. And other times I was so focused on getting the listing paperwork signed, I wasn't listening to what they were saying. And they were telling me how to win the business, but I was focused on what to say versus being part of the conversation. And that's another point where, what I do in Push is I teach people how to internalize a script. So you can be part of the conversation. You can really listen to what people are saying. And if you understand what they're saying, you know how to respond. And so what we need to work on, and my pastor said this on Sunday, and I've been saying that ever since, we got to focus on being the fountain and not the drain. We got to pour into these people and show them how we can help them. And I promise you, you will have a different result. It's what I live by, Zig Ziglar. You help enough people get what they want, you'll always get what you want. So make it centric, the conversation to that seller. Taylor, go ahead.
All right, so I had this same objection, but the seller was overpriced. He was at 475. I was at 425. He was like, let's meet in the middle, and I finally talked him down to the point where he was at 425, and he's like, okay, what is your commission? And we talked about that. And I'm not gonna lie, he beat me up. He's like, if I'm dropping 50,000, like I can't, like, there's got to be room in there, like, you know what I mean? So I just don't know how to handle that.
Repeat after me, Taylor. My commission is not part of this negotiation.
My commission is not part of this negotiation.
I have said that so many times in the beginning. I didn't say it very confidently. Once I really understood the power of that, my commission's not part of this. I understand you feel like you came down from 475 to 425, but you were in fantasy land. That's like where sellers want to price their property. But the reality is that agents are selling homes at 425. That's what the market's telling me. And so the question is, do you want to get this home sold or not? If you do, 425 is the number. My commission doesn't change. I mean, let me ask you, Taylor, if I got you more than 425, would you pay me more commission?
No.
Yeah.
But since I'm dropping from 475, like I don't want to, like I don't want to pay that. I don't want to pay 3%.
Well, I completely understand that. And yet, if this home does not sell, what's that mean for you?
I mean, I'll just keep it off the market.
Okay. And how's that affect you if you keep it off the market? I mean, you told me when I came out here that you had to get this home sold. So how's that affect you if you take it off the market?
All right, for the sake of the role play, like I see where you're going. I don't want to stay on this. I got it.
But let me ask you a question for the sake of the role play. It sounds like to me, was this guy not motivated?
He wasn't, not as motivated. It was more of like, yeah, if I sell it, like great. If not, eh.
So can I be direct with you, Taylor?
Yes, sir.
We have to stop wasting our time getting in front of people who aren't serious about selling their home. This is the purpose of pre-qualifying, because if someone's telling me, hey, if I can't get my number, I'm not going to sell, it just doesn't make sense for me. I can sit here and I can die in this house. It's okay if I don't sell. If they're truly not motivated, I have learned it's better for me to not spend that hour running comps and spend an hour at their house. It's better for me to get back on the phone for 2 hours and find someone who's serious, because I'm going to go there, and no matter what I say, because they're not motivated, they're never going to be as coachable as I need them to be for me to want to take that listing. So I have learned to not waste my time. And I will tell you that if you pre-qualify stronger, then you'll start saying, hey, I know we have an appointment set for tomorrow at 6. However, after talking with you, I know that you're not really committed to getting this home sold no matter what. And I only work with highly motivated and coachable sellers. So I'm going to have to cancel that appointment, and I'll stay in touch. And if things change, I'd love to meet with you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I mean, we're wasting too much of our time getting in front of people who aren't serious. We got to stop doing that because it discourages you. You're like, damn, I keep going on these appointments and people aren't signing with me. You're going on the wrong appointments. It needs to be, what's your motivation to sell on a scale of 0 to 10? And if they give me any number under a 10, I'm like, what would make it a 10? Talk to me. What's going to make you motivated? If there's no motivation there, I'm not going. Unless I'm going just for practice because I want to practice my scripts. I'm going there knowing they're not going to list with me, but I'm going for the practice. That's the only reason I would go. I want you to get to that point where it's wasting your time and you're doing yourself a disservice and them by going. Oh, I got Ashley in here. Ashley, what's up? What you got?
Hello. I just have a question about that because I 100% wholeheartedly agree about wasting your time not dealing with motivated sellers. The biggest thing I have a question about is if you come across that, right, where someone says, you say, well, I don't think you're motivated. I will, keep in touch with you. And they say, don't even bother. If you don't come now, like I have other agents that are interested. I'll get them to do it. Don't even bother keeping in touch. What would you say then?
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but Ashley, I appreciate your time. Listen, Happy New Year and best of luck on getting your home sold.
Okay, cool.
Peace. Kick rocks. Why? Because you know what's going to happen. They do have other agents that are interested. They have agents that have that. You know what that is? When I do that, I did brush my teeth, so I'm breathing out something good on you.
Commission breath.
Commission
It's
breath.
called commission breath. It's those agents that will come in and say anything and do anything to get the listing. Because here's what they do. They get that listing and it's overpriced. They don't even care. They're getting sign calls from that listing and they're helping other people buy other properties, and that home never sells. They're getting calls, they're doing open houses, finding buyers, and they're like, hey, this house is at 475. Let me show you this one down the street at 425. So they want the listing because it's a billboard for them to advertise they're in real estate. They could care less about the seller selling. We don't have time for that because we spend money right out the gate. The minute we get a listing, we spend the money. Staging and photos and open houses and broker opens and all that other stuff we have to do. I don't want to spend money on someone who's not motivated. So Ashley, I would just be like this. I'm out. Okay. All right. Ashley, since I have you unmuted though, we're not sure if we're going to sell anymore, Ashley. We need some time to just figure out our game plan. So as of now, we're going to take the house off the market.
Okay. So you're taking the house off the market. So when you had it listed, where were you moving to?
Actually, that's really none of your business. I got to tell you, we get that call and question from a lot of agents. It doesn't matter. The home didn't sell.
Okay. No, I definitely understand, especially with having a lot of agents reaching out to you. However, if you received an acceptable offer, maybe let's say last week, would you have sold it?
Well, yeah, but that didn't happen. And then the property ended up expiring. I mean, you didn't show the property when it was on the market. Where were you when I had it listed?
I get that. I get your concern with that. However, I was actually taking care of the fulfillments I made to the sellers I were working with at the time. I told them I would sell their house. So that's exactly what I was doing, selling their house. And it's kind of scary that your house didn't pop up in my radar until right now, isn't it?
Yeah, that is kind of scary.
Right. So that's exactly why we should meet. So I can show you exactly how I'm getting the fulfillments that I'm giving to my sellers actually done, fulfilled.
I'm gonna
I'm
pause you right there.
available.
I love what you said. I just want you to say it a little differently. I love what you said though, right? It's a great way to handle that. I was actually working with my clients and selling their home.
Mhm.
How could you say that a little differently, a little stronger?
I could say I was working with my sellers and getting theirs done and making sure that I was getting the buyers that were looking for their home in front of them. I don't know. I hit a ball.
All right, so I have a thought on it, but before I say what I want to say, let me go to somebody like David Sells. What would you say in this situation? Like, where were you when my house was on the market? You didn't show it. What would your response be to that?
Yeah, Dave, I totally hear that, and it's a really good question. Actually, while your home was on the market, I was actually putting. I had 2 other homes that just went under contract, so I was helping my clients close on their properties. But I do got a quick question. I mean, what was your agent? What kind of feedback did you get from your agent when your house, when your house didn't sold? What kind of feedback was he giving you?
Well, I mean, we got a couple lowball offers, and he just said, the market isn't strong enough right now, based on the offers we're getting. So he recommended that we pull it off for a little bit and wait until the spring. So, based on his recommendation, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, got it. Yes. So yeah, so I'm hearing your agent said that you got lowball offers and you probably should take it off. Could I just share something with you? Would that be okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, it seems like you fell victim to a passive broker. And David, honestly, what I do is I actually specialize in homes just like yours that didn't sell. So what I'd like to do, Dave, is just simply grab 15, 20 minutes of your time. I can share with you what exactly I'm doing with other homeowners like yourself to get their home sold within that 30 to 40 day mark. And then while we're there, you could decide whether, we should, if we're a good fit or not. We could both decide that then. Does that sound fair?
Okay, so that sounds fair, but let me take you back. And you were saying, like, you were having this conversation with me and you were like, it seems like you fell into this type of trap with this type of agent, right? So I think Javier put it in the chat, like, we got to be careful not to knock other companies and other agents. And so could you tell a story where you said something like, hey, David, I hear the situation. Your agent was saying you guys got low ball offers, so the market isn't strong. Those 2 properties I mentioned to you earlier that I closed, those offers started low. However, I am a trained negotiator, and the reason why sellers hire me is it doesn't matter where the offers come in. It's about me doing my job and negotiating an offer that you find acceptable. And that's what I did for my previous client. So, when you were asking me where was I when your home was on the market, I was negotiating and getting my listing sold. And what I wanted to do is sit down with you and show you how I did that. And I'm not here to force you into making a decision. I just want to give you all the information and strategies I use to get a home sold. And that way you can make a decision that's right for you and your family. Is that fair?
It's good.
Yeah. What if we said it like that?
Yeah.
Good job, though, man. I love you stepping up. Where did Ashley go? Ashley. So
I'm right here.
What I just said, I tried to tie that in so you could hear it. Like, when your house was on the market, I was busy getting other properties sold. And so you were asking me, where was I? The better question is, what was I doing to get those properties sold? I mean, that's what you really want to know, isn't it?
Yes.
So I have some time tonight at 6 actually to show you what I do to get those properties sold, or I can do tomorrow at 4. What's the best time for us to get together?
Tonight at 6 is good.
So I said exactly what you said, but I was a little bit more direct, and I showed them that I was doing what they would want an agent to do, and hopefully creating some curiosity there where they would be open to meeting with me. What do you think about that approach, Ashley?
I need work on my directness. I play the P foot a lot.
Why do you think you do that? What's your concern?
I'm afraid of messing up the connection at all. Like, I always want to, kind of like I explained to you before, like, I always want to keep them on the hook, like a side person. You keep your little side dudes on the side and you never really want to break that relationship. So you could go back and double back when your main one is acting crazy, right? So I always want to keep it a little like, I P foot instead of saying no. I know my word, like, and putting my foot down. So I have to work on being more direct. And
Ashley
sorry
over here like a pimp. She like, I keep my stable full all the time.
No, I'm not, no more. I'm reformed, but whatever I'm saying, like I used to.
However, the thing is, and this is what I want you to think about, and you'll probably appreciate this. They already had a agent that was P-footing, as you say. That's why the home didn't get sold. That agent wasn't willing to tell them what they needed to hear. And so they would welcome. It's refreshing to have someone like you come out and say, can I be direct with you? The reason why the home didn't sell is X, and you need a new approach. And so what I'm going to do is come out and show you that. No obligation to list with me. However, I think you'd be curious to know what I did to sell those 2 properties when your house was on the market. Let's sit down and talk about it. Like, just be direct with them. They really do appreciate that.
And I'm going to be honest, I lost a lot of listings last year because of not being direct. I went on a lot of listing appointments and lost out because of not being direct. So, yeah.
I will tell you one of the biggest things I learned, and I can't remember if it was Mike Ferry or someone else that I learned this from, but it's just asking the question, Ashley, is it okay if I'm direct with you? And when they say yes, be direct. I always get their permission first, and then I'm really direct. And it has served me well. All right. All right, Ashley. All right, up to the next one. Who do I want to go to? Oh, I got my man Max Tapper in the house. What's up, Max?
What's up, D?
What's going
How's it
on,
going?
man? I'm doing great, man. I appreciate you calling me about my house expiring. But we're really concerned about finding a new home. When our house was on the market before, the reason we didn't sell it is we couldn't find the property we were looking for. And so we didn't want to get stuck. So we just decided to let it expire. So, I mean, that's really our concern.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. So you really need to get your home sold before you look into, or you need to have a home that you want to move into before you think about getting this home sold?
I don't want to be homeless. I mean, that's my whole thing. I'm willing to sell. We got an offer that we found to be acceptable, and we just didn't have any place to go. So that's my issue.
I understand that. That could definitely put you in a strange position,
Mhm.
not feeling comfortable. But who did you have looking? Who was your agent helping you find a new place?
It was our agent that listed the property. They were out helping us find property, and we were doing some work on our own as well, going out on the weekends, looking at open houses. We just didn't find anything.
Well, let me ask you this. If I was able to help you find a new place to move into, would you then be still willing to put this back on the market?
Well, yeah, but if that was possible, we would have already, sold the house. What we were looking for is not out there.
I understand that. I understand that. What actually are you looking for? Ask you that?
Yeah, so we're getting older. We can't do this 2-story house anymore. So for us, we need a ranch. We want to have just everything on one level. My wife has, arthritis and issues going up and down the stairs.
Okay, I understand
And
that.
so we want to stay in town. We want to stay local. We're not moving away. It's just the house isn't right for us, and we don't have a bedroom on the first level, so we can't stay here.
Understood. Understood. Ooh. Where do I go from there? Let me see.
Well, let me pause you real quick.
Yeah.
So guys, this is where, if you start paying attention, this is where you make your money. Because I gave Max something. I'm like, here's why we're selling. I want to stay in the area. I love it here. I love my house. We just can't stay here. We can't stay here because physically, my wife has arthritis. We're older. We cannot deal with the stairs. I'm sharing that with you. So if you just being human, like taking your sales hat off, if you talk to someone and they were telling you, oh, we can't live in this house anymore because of arthritis and we can't deal with the stairs, what would you say to someone like that? Just taking your sales hat off, just having the conversation.
Oh, I understand that. I mean, honestly, my parents are going through a very similar thing. My mom has a knee replacement, so I definitely understand your concerns. And that was one of the motivating factors with my parents moving. They wanted to find a 1-bedroom home, a one floor home, and they ended up selling their 2-floor home, just because of that specific situation. I'm sure I can help you find something that would be perfect for you guys. I'm sure I can help you find something that would be a 1-floor home where you wouldn't have to walk up and down the steps, which would be a lot more accessible for you. I think we could probably do this at the same time.
Okay, let me pause you real quick. I love you guys. Like the story he told, like he's making it human. He's building rapport. Dude, this is what we do in Push. This is the conversations we have so that people know how to navigate these conversations when they're in front of a seller. The thing that I teach in the Push program is I asked you, about the motivation, right? We talked about that, right? What would it do for me if we were in that one living house? I want you to dig a little deeper. Like, Dave, man, I understand that. Like, my parents dealt with that, knee replacements, going up and down the stairs. It was tough for them. I know how they were impacted once they got the right house. What would it do for your wife if you guys were in the ranch? How would that feel if she didn't have to navigate the stairs anymore and you guys could enjoy your life? Like, you want me to start talking because logic makes people think, emotion makes people act. When you start getting me to share with you on an emotional level how great it's going to feel for my wife to be able to be part of the family and be in the same area with everyone, and I have to deal with the stairs, not be in pain, and I start opening up about that and sharing that with you, then you can say, hey, listen, I'm going to meet with you because I want to help you solve this problem. You guys have to be in a one-bedroom house. And I understand that you can't sell this home until you find another home. So guess what? I'm going to make this my mission to find you a property. Because just like I called you today to find out where you're moving, I do this every day. And I talk to a lot of people who have homes that are for sale that are not on the market just like you. And I believe that I can find you the right home. I mean, what would it do for you if I could find you that one level house that you're looking for when no one else could? How would that help you? How would that change your life? Like, that's how I'm digging into it, if that makes sense.
It does. Damn, you're smooth, man.
Well,
You're good with that. Yeah.
it's the reps, man. It's the reps
Yeah.
because when you make these calls over and over again, or like even Amina was saying, I went on this appointment and I didn't get it. What I started realizing is I didn't get it because I was making it about me. I need this check. I need to get this listing. However, when you help enough people get what they want, you always get what you want. So by helping me solve this problem and showing me and giving me the confidence that you can find me that home, I'm going to give you the listing because I believe in you. I've connected with you, your story about your parents, so I know you understand what I'm going through. And if you can just show me, hey, I prospect every day. My job is to find houses for my sellers. I don't just sit back and wait for something to come on the MLS. I find off market opportunities for them. If I can do that for you, would that solve your problem? Let me meet and show you how I do that. If I could set up the contract where if I don't find you a property, you're not obligated to sell, so it's a win-win, would you be open to it? Like, that's the conversation we need to have.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Man, I like role playing with you, and I just want to say this, we'll move on. We need to start collecting stories, right? You guys just heard the story that Max shared about his parents and the knee. So if you guys have this conversation with someone, you don't have to lie and say it was your parents. You could say a friend of mine, his parents went through the same thing and they had an issue with their knee and they couldn't go up and down the stairs. We can collect other people's stories and use that when we're presenting or we're going through a script. And that's the beauty of being on these calls. That's the beauty of being in the office. You get to collect stories and share and build rapport. All right. So, Emily, thank you. Thank you for being here. Have a good one. All right. So let's move on to the next one. Hey, Tanae. What's up, Tanae? How you doing?
I knew it was a matter of time. Hello.
All good. So today, we're going to just on the theme of expires. I'm just going to hit you with most expireds. Hey, listen, we're not selling our house anymore. I appreciate the call. Thank you.
Okay, David, I understand. May I ask you why you're no longer going to list the home?
We had it on the market 6 months. We didn't get any offers. We're tired of, keeping the house together. We're just going to take some time and recoup. We're thinking about actually being a for sale by owner and just selling ourselves. But right now, we just want to take some time and figure it out.
So you say the home was on the market for 6 months,
6
correct?
months, yes, correct.
Do you know why the home sat so long and didn't sell? Do you have any ideas of why?
I mean, we listened to our agent. They came with a pricing recommendation. We took their pricing recommendation. They did open houses every weekend. We just didn't have a lot of activity. And I thought it was the price. Mentioned that to my agent, and he felt confident with his pricing, so we kept it where it was. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. Pricing can definitely be a big factor into why the home didn't sell. But what I can do for you and what I would do for you as your agent, I mean, did you guys work together in strategizing on this price? Because that's key, right? I think, as an agent, it's our responsibility to not only help you get everything that you need, but to listen to you, which is one of my strong strengths. If you were to tell me today, I don't think this is priced right, then it's my job to go and check out the market, see what the numbers are. And if it's not right, we can work the numbers around again. So let me just ask you this, David. I understand 6 months is a long time. It's a lot of back and forth, open houses and things like that. But if you were willing to give it a shot one more time, you and I could sit down, we can talk about price. I could come to you with numbers and let you know what's really happening in the market. Would you consider possibly putting it on the market again?
I would consider it if I knew I could sell it. And I'm gonna
Okay.
pause you right there. I'm gonna pause you right there because I have something I have to say to you, and it's eating at me, and I don't want to forget it. You said a word 3 times. You know what you said 3 times? That's not what I'm on.
Oh.
I think.
Try to think.
Do you think, or do you know? Like,
I
our
know.
job is to be local economists of choice. And I want you to have that confidence. I want you to make me believe. I want you to say, I know based on my experience that this is what needs to happen. Because when you say, I think, do you know?
It's not sure.
It's not sure, right? You said but a couple of times. And then there was this opportunity when we were talking about pricing to talk about 3 Ps. Do you know what the 3 Ps of real estate are?
Yeah. Remind me, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. So
it's price.
Well, so it's saying that like it sounded like you had a 3P agent, Tanae. You know, someone who put your property on multiple listing service, someone who put a sign in your front yard, and someone that just sat back and prayed that somebody else would sell it. You know, I do the 4th and 5th P, and this is why I sell property. I price watch the market every single day. So we're constantly having conversations about where it needs to be priced so we're competitive. And more importantly than that, I prospect every day to find buyers for my sellers. Now, if you had an agent like me that was on top of the market and price watching and prospecting for you, could you see how you would have a different outcome?
Yes.
So that script, like, to me, that was like a perfect time.
That was
the 3 Ps, right? Because that's what I'm talking to you about. So, Tanae, let's do a little exercise and see if people are actually listening to what we just talked about right now.
Okay.
Somebody tell me really quickly what the 3 Ps are. Unmute and tell me the 3 Ps. We just went over some gold that'll help you where y'all listening. That's what I want to know. Somebody give it to me.
Put your home on the market.
Yep.
Put it on the MLS and pray.
All right. What's the 4th and 5th P, Taylor?
I price watch and I prospect.
There we go. There we go. All right. You got it. Listen, guys, I know that script sounds corny as hell. I know it does. It works.
And it made sense in that scenario. It made total sense.
Especially to an expired that just watched that happen. Somebody put it on the MLS, put the sign in the front yard, and they were sitting back and just being passive about it, right? And praying. When you explain to them price watching is important, especially when the seller brought up price. And you're saying, I price watch every day. I know this market in and out. And I prospect. It's going to help you get in the door. And that's all you want to do is get belly to belly with that seller and have a conversation. That's going to help you break through because I'm telling them what they need to hear. Hope that makes sense. All right. I appreciate you.
Thank you. One question, David. Do you think to touch on motivation would help there? But I agree. The 3 Ps was perfect. But.
Yeah. Touching on motivation always has to come out. And not just touching on it, but I believe, I just said but. Let me back up. And I believe that if you really spend time digging into motivation and showing people that you care, it's our job anyhow. Like our job, people don't understand what our job is as real estate agents. Our number 1 job is to lead gen and prospect every day. Our second job is to be a problem solver. In order to solve a problem, what do we first have to understand?
The problem.
Yeah, and we find out by asking, dig into motivation. So that's our job. So I definitely want to make sure that you guys understand that. There was someone else talking. I heard a lady talking as well. Who was that? Oh, hey, what's up, Ashley?
Hey, David. I just thought of this. It popped into my head when mentioning the 3 Ps of something to also add to it. Do you want a passive agent or do you want a passionate agent?
Ooh, I like that. What do you mean passionate, Ashley?
You know, someone who's going to take on your problems, want to solve your problems, want to get this home sold just as much as you do, and be there to do everything that's going to get your home sold in the manner that you want it.
Love that, because I only work with motivated and coachable clients. And if you're willing to listen to me on pricing and the marketing strategy, I know I can get this property sold. So let's meet. I'm not here to force you into listing with me. I'm going to lay out everything I do. And that way you can make the best decision for you and your family. Is that fair?
Sounds fair.
If you guys don't know, that's my favorite script. I use it all the time. You know why I use that all the time? Anybody want to guess?
It works.
Because it works. And I say it every week because it works. And yet you guys aren't using it when you role play. What is that? It works. It's a strong script. And it takes people from feeling like, hey, they're going to get beat up into signing paperwork to knowing like you're not tied to the outcome. My job is just deliver the info, whatever you decide I'm okay with. That puts a lot of people's barriers down and it allows you to get in the door. What was the phrase you said? Something like that. I'd rather turn you down than let you down. Harvey, that's what it was. I'd rather turn you down than let you down. And I use that particular script with someone who like wants me to overprice a property. You know, we were given an example of 475 versus 425. I would tell a seller, if you want me to list a home at 475, I wouldn't take your listing. I'd rather turn you down than let you down because I know I couldn't sell it at that price. There are plenty of other agents that you can hire that will list it at 475, hell, list it at 500. However, your home won't sell at that price point. And you tell me you do need to sell, right? What happens if it doesn't sell and you're on the market for another 6 months? How does that affect your family? I'm digging into it, so I really understand what's going on. Harvey,
thank you, David.
Yeah, thanks for being here, man. All right,
Yeah.
so it's 9:25, and I want to wrap up really quickly. Here's what I need. I need a couple things from you guys. I really appreciate. So Jerome, a couple people in the beginning talked about how this call has impacted them. I like to get some testimonials from like 2 or 3 people on the value you're getting from attending this call. If you'd be willing to do that with me, a little video testimonial, put it in the chat, me. And I mean, I see you need scripts. I'll send them to you. Actually, let me do this. I'm going to put my information, my phone number here in the chat. Actually, you guys who need the scripts, put your email address in the chat. I just remember I have an assistant I'm about to leverage. I'm going to have her send you the scripts. So just put your email address and say, I need the scripts. They'll send you a Google Drive to all the scripts, and then you can take a look at them. Was today helpful for you guys, what we talked about, the conversations, how we work through things?
Very.
Yeah.
Very.
Yes.
I don't show a lot of behind the scenes of what we do in Push, but this is kind of like what you'll see in Push as we're going through the listing presentation and learning how to prospect and overcome objections. If you guys recognize, and this may not be for all of you here, but if you recognize that you need to work on your scripting and you need to be more solid with your question asking and your objection handling, I got something coming up in February. It's my Push class, starts February 11th. I'll throw in the link. You guys can go on the wait list. I'll reach out to you if you need to learn more about it. We can schedule a call. I'm not here to force you into paying for a coaching program. I'm just here to give you all the information you need so you can make the best decision for how you're going to move forward with real estate in 2025. And whatever you decide, I'm okay with that. I hope you guys know that. Did anybody see what I just
The funny
did there?
thing is that's the same script that you've been talking to a seller.
I was like, did anybody just see what I just did right there? I just used the same
Yeah.
script. You know why I use that script?
Does it work?
Because it works. And I'm not high pressure. One thing I learned in sales is that I'm not going to pressure anybody to work with me. If they don't see my value, shame on me for not being able to show my value. And that's the thing with real estate, especially in 2025. There's so much competition. We have to be able to show our value when we're out in front of people. We have to show them why they should hire us. And it starts with what we say and how we say it. Like if we can't get the script, we're not going to have a great opportunity getting the business. I hope and trust that you guys understand that. So it's really mastering what you say. And that's what I do. That's what I'd love to help you do. So I'm going to copy something right now and put it into the chat. And this is the wait list for the Push program. And if you guys are interested in finding out more about it, let's have a conversation. There it is. And lastly, here's what I want to say. Before we wrap up this call, I'm going to have everybody unmute because I want to hear you yell out how many calls and or appointments you're going to get today, because the goal is for you to get here and get inspired and then get off of this call and go get on the phone and go make some calls. I hope you guys understand that. This is not check the box. I went to script practice and my day is done. If this is all you do, you're not bringing income into your family. Who are you hurting by not putting the work in? So the goal is get off of here, get on the phone. If you get objections you don't know how to handle, guess what I want you to do? Write them down. If you get tough questions and you don't know how to answer the question, write them down. And when we come back next week, I'm going to say, guys, all of you who were prospecting, give me some objections and questions you had a hard time with. Then we're going to help you learn how to overcome those objections and how to answer those questions. And then guess what I'm going to have you do? Call those people back, because they're going to have the same questions and the same objections. And now you have an answer. That's how you learn. That's how I learned scripts. I would get hung up on. I didn't know how to overcome the objection. I would hang up on people, but then I would go do my research. How do I respond to that? I get back on the phone and call back, and I was able to push through. We got to keep going. We got to build the momentum. So it's baby steps every day. I hope you guys get that. And I hope you guys will take me up on the offer to learn a little bit more about what I do. And I hope this brought you value. I appreciate you guys being here. Fair enough?
Absolutely.
It's 9:30.
Yep.
I want to respect y'all's time. So on the count of 3, I want everybody on mute. Everybody on mute. I want to hear, let's do this. I'm going to take some pressure off of you. How many contacts are you committed to making today? And I don't care if your number is 1, because maybe you've never made a call before and 1 for you is a win, then it's a win. Don't judge your number by anybody else's number. On the count of 3, I just want you to yell out how many contacts you are committed to making, which means you might have to be on the phone for 5 hours. You may have to go to Lowe's and start talking to people online, but you're committed to getting these 5 contacts or 10 contacts no matter what. All right, y'all ready? People on Instagram, throw it in the chat. 1, 2, 3.
20.
5.
20.
5.
10.
10.
Listen, I love all the numbers. Make a commitment to yourself. Make it with honor, which means if you said 5 and you call for 5 hours and you only call 4 people, you're not allowed to stop until you find 1 more person. I don't care where that person comes from. I got a listing at the liquor store buying wine one day because I had a conversation. I helped somebody buy a house at the bank because I had a conversation with a teller. Just go out and talk to people. That's our job. Stop being the secret agent. Let them know who you are and what you do. Go get after it. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here today.
Have a good day,
See ya.
brother.
What's up,
Bye,
Renee?
everybody.
See y'all later.
Bye.
All right, see you guys.
New Year, David.
Good morning. Happy New Year, everybody. Let's go make it a great one. Hey, y'all, on IG. Let me just say this to y'all real quick. I can give y'all a little bit more time. Bye, y'all. Y'all got to come on IG if y'all want to hear some more about